So I have here some spare headlights off a 96 E320 with the M104 engine, and it has the typical headlight issue where they either go yellow or not very clear, and that drastically affects the light output. These ones aren't actually too bad. The ones on my own car are actually much worse, and they've gone yellow, so I'm going to experiment on these. I did see someone playing around with these Chinesey headlight restoral kits that include this magical fluid. I'll be honest, I think it's a load of BS, and I'll be surprised if it actually works. But I'm going to give it a try anyway. It's not overly expensive to buy that, and honestly, if it works, I don't know for how long. So I have my sandpaper here ready to go with some water, and I'm just going to wet sand these lenses and give that vaporizer a go. The power supply that comes with that is total garbage. I've opened it up and desoldered the lead, and I'm going to run it on my bench power supply. It's just a 12-volt power supply. I did actually request to have the battery clamps and the long lead to run it from a car battery, but these morons failed to adhere to what I ordered and sent me the wrong package anyway. So yeah, let's give it a go and see what it looks like after some wet sanding. It will look atrocious after wet sanding, but apparently it starts to look good when you vaporize after wet sanding. I have no idea how much of this crap I'm supposed to put in this thing. It's not mentioned, but I've put enough in there, I guess. And what I don't use, I'll pour back in the bottle. I don't believe there's any actual instructions with this, so you just expected to watch the sales video on the AliExpress listing. Now these lights, I believe Tim has already removed the failing clear coat that was on the lenses, so the wet sanding was actually extremely easy. And I believe that dull finish is what you want prior to applying this stuff. I don't know if you're supposed to still have the clear coat on there or if you're supposed to have it all gone. It's not mentioned anywhere. Anyway, we'll see what this does with the bare plastic with the wet sanding. I have no idea how long this thing will take to warm up before it starts producing vapor. I'll turn the camera on once I can actually do something. So this thing is drawing about 4.5 amps. It looks like the heating element is actually in the sides and not at the bottom, so you probably need to pour the whole bottle in there. Not surprising, but that's kind of crap. In the extremely tiny text on the can, it actually tells you to hold it about 1 centimeter away from the surface. And yeah, it looks like it's doing something. It's definitely clearing it up, but how long does it last? I don't know. It's not practical to be removing the headlight every time you do this. In the video they show doing it on the car, but I wouldn't want to be getting sandpaper anywhere near W210 original paint because it is extremely fragile if it hasn't already failed. As far as the clear coat is concerned, it will, guaranteed, if you get sandpaper anywhere near it. So I would highly recommend taking it off the car to do this. So yeah, this stuff is giving me a headache. I don't know what it is, and it says on the can, even for a Chinese good, it is strictly prohibited to come in contact with pregnant women and children, so no doubt it is extremely toxic. And if we knew what it was, it would probably be banned and not allowed to be shipped. But hey, it seems to be working. I mean, that's ridiculously clear now. Time will tell how long it lasts though. I'll continue doing this off camera, and just to show I'm not full of rubbish, that's what it looks like. I will finish this off camera, and yeah, we'll have a look at the final results. So yeah, we have a result, but let's see what it looks like in a few hours after it's had time to dry. Hopefully that's not just an illusion because it's kind of a wet surface. I'll let it even sit in the sun and see what happens. So this is well and truly dried now. If you look very closely, there are imperfections, but I think, as with anything, preparation is key. I didn't really put a lot of effort into sanding these properly, and there's still some rough surface on there, and that's where it doesn't look the best. But having said that, comparing it to the other side, which is untouched, it's still a lot better than it was. So yeah, this snake oil, it does actually leave some kind of deposit on the plastic surface when it's vaporized. I don't know what it is. I don't know what its health effects are getting exposed to it. It's probably, well, I know it is. It's actually very bad for you. You should use it in a well-ventilated area, preferably outside. So I wouldn't be doing this inside in an enclosed space. Take your time sanding the surface, make it nice and smooth, and you should actually get a pretty reasonable result. As for how long it lasts, I do not know, but considering that fluid is like a few dollars for 150 mils, it wouldn't hurt just to buy a few bottles and do the process again as required. So yeah, I'm still not convinced, but I'll probably actually do the ones on my car, since that car is outside, obviously, all the time, and we'll see how that performs in the long term. So semi-impressed with the results on my spare headlights, I decided to give it a try on my actual 210 headlights that have a yellow film over the surface. So this is what they looked after a light wet sanding, and I went ahead and used the same device on these, and as you can see, the transformation is quite remarkable. While obviously they're not as good as brand new ones, they're still vastly better than what they were before. I'll continue to monitor these now that I've got a pair of headlights permanently outside, and see how long they last. One thing I will say is that the supplied fluid doesn't go anywhere near as far as they suggest. They seem to think you get multiple sets of headlights out of these little cans. I've already used one entire can for 2 sets of headlights, so 4 in total. There's no way you're going to be getting 11 lights out of one of those 150ml cans or whatever they were suggesting. It's just not possible, unless they're very small lights. Anyway, these 210s lights seem to just suck that fluid in. And yeah, the results speak for themselves. That was like ridiculously yellow before, and the other side came out just as good. So I'm quite pleased with that. I didn't even take them out. I didn't even mask the area around them. I was just very careful sanding and making sure I did not touch any of the paintwork of the fragile 210. So yeah, that's quite an astonishing result. We'll see how it goes.